Hello everyone. Come on in. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Heart Chakra Medium. All right. Welcome. Thank you for your presence. I appreciate each of you. Thank you for building and creating a community with me here online, here on YouTube. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay, we're welcoming your departed, deceased loved ones, your loved ones across the veil. Their spirit, their soul, their essence is, there's a continuation beyond this life here on the physical form on the earth. There's a continuation of their soul, their consciousness, their spirit, their energy. And they are present here now. They're present here. Their presence is quickly realized. It's us when we shift our consciousness. So they're always present. And as the tagline for this channel, the connection line is never broken. It never really is broken. And I love that. That brings me a lot of comfort every time I am missing my loved ones that are on the other side. I miss them physically. I don't know if that will ever go away for me specifically, but it comforts me to know that I can speak to them whenever I feel I want to, I desire, I need to. I would feel their presence whenever I am connected to that belief, that consciousness, realization that we're always together. And for me personally, I feel that my relationship with them is even greater than when they were alive. So that was a plus for me. So sharing a little story here, like lately one of my soulmate, I'm gonna reference to him as Chicago. So I'm gonna reference to him as Chicago. So Chicago, lately I have been having a lot of fun with, and almost every day I would ask Chicago, how would you reveal yourself to me? And I get emotional. How will you reveal yourself to me today? And I am just blown away, and I would get an impression, or I would actually hear his words saying, this is how I'm going to reveal myself. And sure enough, I will see those on my path, in my surrounding, or the destination that I'm going. It's quite fun. And that is, as a segue, that is evidential mediumship, where we can ask our loved ones across the veil to give us evidence of their presence, that it is consciousness, but it doesn't have to stay there. For us, there are some of us who are comfortable with that. I certainly am. But lately I have been really developing and growing my evidential mediumship, not just for myself, but so I can help others, each of you. So I would ask, show me how you would reveal yourself. So there was a time when Chicago, I heard him say, bird flying in from my left, and I'm walking on the path, and I'm like, okay, well, there could be many birds. How would I distinguish that it's you sending that bird? And that's when he was like, it's coming from your left. So I'm walking in the path, and I'm already turning, and my left is not going to be my left anymore. It's going to be my right. So I'm like, did I hear you? Where are you? You have to reveal yourself. And the whole time I was walking, I did not see any bird. And it's fall season right now, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it's been dry where I have been walking. And just before I finish my 1 mile, here comes the only bird flying from my left that when I had turned, and I'm blown away. I was just like so amazed and so grateful that Chicago showed up for me that day. And there's a few other ones, and I actually write a blog now about all the testimony for myself of how there's life, the afterlife, and life beyond this physical form. Okay, so thank you for listening. As we get back to this particular reading, it is being recorded during 11/11 portal, so it's a very special place for me specifically, as 11/11 is a number that speaks to me from spirit and my departed loved ones. So I wanted to record this for this day and make it what do you want to make it for you? What do you want to make this day for you? I do believe every day is a portal. I do believe every place, it goes back to that consciousness and that always connected to the universe and love. But we're humans and we like special things and we have special meaning to almost everything and special language. So 11/11 is a portal for me because it is significant and it is special for me. So I'm making it personal. So what is it going to be for you? Anyway, I am looking forward for your departed loved ones to come through for this reading, and we are creating 3 portals, if you will, during this day with this reading. And thank you for everyone that participated in the community poll. I really appreciate your engagement and your community there. So we're gonna do 3 readings, portal doors for your loved one to come through. The first one would be anyone that comes through. The second would be your spouse, for those whose spouse have passed on and you want to hear from them. And the last one would be your grandparents, any one of your grandparents. So the readings is not going to be specific to gender, but that relationship that you have. So once again, the first one is anyone. The second one is your spouse. And the last one would be your grandparents. And this is evidential mediumship. So when I started the channel, I was using cards because I'm a tarot reader and a psychic, so I use those. But now I am strictly focusing the channel to evidential, which I won't be using tools, and I'm specifically connecting and seeking information and evidence of your loved ones that are coming through. But for the choosing purposes, because your physical self is not here in front of me, but I'm connecting to your spirit and your soul, let's use Oracle Crystal for the choosing of the group. In case you just want to hear, yeah, that's right. Sometimes you want to hear the message and it didn't come through from someone that maybe you are wanting to hear from. So you can use this for that selection. So group 1. Ooh, I like this. Group 2. And group 3. So pick a card. 1, 2, and 3. And since it's 11/11 portal, I may do some tarot cards towards the end, but I certainly do have oracles to close the reading. So I'll see you in your readings. Hello everyone, you selected. If you wanted to hear from anybody, anyone from your departed, deceased loved ones across the veil, or maybe you just want to hear the actual message piece, and you selected this crystal. So welcome to your reading. Let's see, this crystal is Larimar, and it says on the oracle, slow your roll. Maybe that's all you need to hear today. But okay, so we're gonna keep that one there. There's oracles towards the end. We'll look into that, and maybe some tarot reading. We'll see. But this is Evidential Mediumship. Before we get started, I would like to invite you. I am now, as I'm developing my Evidential Mediumship skills and abilities, I have created a private Facebook group, private Facebook group. If you are interested in a one-on-one Evidential Mediumship with me, the sessions are gift sessions, so it's free of charge to you. It's a way to develop my skills, but also to give back to community. But all the details are in the private Facebook group. So if you check the description box, the link should be there. But you can just search the groups in Facebook. It's Heart Chakra Medium. Heart Chakra Medium. Okay. Welcome anyone that wants to come through for you. And let's see here. I'm connecting to your departed loved ones. Thank you for everyone, your presence, who is connecting here with us. So not gender specific, but the person that's coming through is revealing to me a feminine energy. A feminine energy could also be male. Once again, not gender specific, but their feminine energy feels very loving and caring. I feel very comforted right now with their presence. They are well liked, and children likes them, like to be around them, and they actually do love being around children as well. They believe so much about children, and that I'm hearing children is the hope for the future, is what I'm hearing them say. So this person is very kind, very loving, very caring. Also, the relationship to you feels like a relative, like you have a close connection with this person. It feels like this is actually a grandparent to you that's coming through. We do have another door reading for grandparents, but it looks like they are coming through already. So grandparents is coming through, kind, loving. It feels to me that they are from another country. So it feels like they were an immigrant that became a citizen. And then I also have children that are coming through. If it feels like this child is probably, I'm seeing 5 and 6. So the ages 5 and 6. I have a twin children that are coming through. A boy and a girl. Twin, a boy and a girl. Okay, so now they're saying that they were from miscarriage, so they weren't even born. But they're saying that their parents are still continually keeping their presence alive and connected to them. I have a friend, a male who's a friend, and he is coming through, and he's showing me an experience that he had with you. I'm seeing the two of you nighttime. Seems like a downtown location. It could also be Navy Pier because I am from Chicago, so that I'm seeing that. But it also just speaking of a downtown location that you've spent with your friend. It feels like it's the last time you've spent with your friend before they had passed on. I'm seeing daytime now by the water, and I'm seeing what appears to be not husband and wife, but long-term partner, intimate relationship from two people. And it's I see water, so it also water or river, an area where the two of you had spent time by the water, by the river, summertime, or at least in the daylight is what it appears to me. And I see still the same scenario. I see the two of you having ice cream or eating ice cream. So something with a reference to ice cream. It could be a friend of yours that you know enjoys and like ice cream. I'm now seeing two older people on the bench. It looks like they are just out in the park, and it appears that it's the wife that had passed on. So a husband and wife, a wife had passed on in older age, 80s, 90, and the two of you were still going to the park at this time that she is showing me this vision. Like I'm seeing you, the two of you feeding the birds. So it seems like the two of you were getting lost in what you're doing, but most importantly, just getting lost in each other's presence. Feels like I have a mother coming through, and she passed on where her child was still a toddler. A mother had passed on, her child was still a toddler. And this is for her daughter. Daughter should be listening. Daughter is the one listening. But you are not a toddler anymore. You're like teenage years, and you still you're questioning if your mother is thinking about you, is missing you. Like, where could your mother be? And when you're still grieving, which there's really no timeline to grieve. And your mother want to comfort you and let you know that I am here through the reading, but I am always with you. And when you're questioning and you're wondering where I am right there in that moment. When you're wanting to connect, you can connect with me, and I can connect with you in that moment. And I want to connect with you. There's a stuffed animal that your mom has given you, and every time it brings you like your consciousness, or you think about that stuffed animal, that's your mother is saying, that's me. I'm using that to draw your attention, to call to you, to make my presence known, is what I'm hearing your mother say. So those are connection point. For those who selected this group, it is anyone that can come through, but even those connection point, if it's not, doesn't connect to you, and you want to just hear the message. So we're gonna transition and get into the message. The thing that I'm realizing with when you're not in front of me is that in a 1-1 mediumship, we can get as much evidence for one person, but because this is collective and it's for various people, I don't have a person that I can work with as far as is this what's coming through for you. So right now I'm just pulling from anyone that really is coming through, so it might just be one evidence and it might not be enough. So work with the reading however you feel, and I thank you for your presence and your patience. Okay, so we're tapping into the spirit of everyone collectively and a message that they want to communicate and bring forth. It feels to me that they're speaking about seasons. Like some of you, for those that just chose this group, most of us are going through some transition and changes in life. And they're wanting to speak about goodness and disappointments and frustration and delay and waiting. These are temporary and it can be seasonal, but ultimately it's not permanent. It is not permanent. So how can you best support yourself during this time of change, during this time of transition? If you look at seasons, most places have 4 seasons. How do you prepare so that you can thrive, be comfortable, be happy, or survive in a season? Let it be winter, spring, summer, or fall. Just like clothing, you wouldn't wear summer clothes in the winter season, and you won't really bundle up when it is warm outside. So the message that they are wanting to communicate is that whatever you are going through right now, it's not going to last, and it's for a moment. And though we aim to always be in high vibration and be happy, sometimes we are in situations when it's difficult. It's difficult. It's almost like you're forcing yourself to feel or be someone that is inauthentic to you. But the goal should not be to always raise your vibration. The goal is to be how you can be the most supportive, comforting, and loving to you. Because if we are talking about vibration, love is the highest vibration. Love, when you feel love, sometimes you are not really the most joyous, but love can elicit all the other high vibrational emotions and energy. So if you are going to aim for love. Aim in the best way you can love you. Aim in the best way you can love you in any season, any times, and any circumstances. And when you can do that, and when you've done that, it's not so much about changing your mindset anymore. Because just like the tower in the tarot, the mindset that does not really support you will naturally fall when love is present. When love is present, all the other things seems to be irrelevant, insignificant. Not because love is pushing them away, but it's almost like the other things that doesn't really is the essence of love, just melts on its own, effortless. So love you. So that is the message I'm hearing from your departed loved ones, from anyone that can come through. So let's look at your oracle. And once again, this is the Larimar crystal. It's beautiful blue, use a blue, and it says slow your roll. So maybe as it relates to the message, that was to give yourself some time to just feel and not necessarily add on to any discomfort that you are already feeling. So if something upsets you, not adding more onto it, that could just really snowball into greater issues. Okay, so let's look at these oracle. This one says a time for healing. Okay, so healing time for you right now. Change. Isn't that the essence of the message? Change, and also times and season. Love when they do that. Okay, and this one is the sustainer. Ooh, so I'm hearing like what sustains is really your heart energy. Your heart energy is what is it in the middle of all the 7 chakra, and it is what connects us to all things, physical and non-physical. So how's your heart? Take care of your heart. And I love the that there's a color there as well. There's like a theme. So let's pull some tarot if you would like to stay for the tarot. This is the Mystic Palette Tarot. Only doing this because of the 1111 portal, something special as we are transitioning with the change. But the channel, I'm going to keep it to Evidential, so I'm not using cards really in future readings. Okay, we can pull 3. All right. Ooh, there's a major arcana here. So you have the 4 cups, the 10 of cups, 4 cups, 10 of cups, and then the lovers. 4 cups, 10 of cups, and then the lovers. So what do we have here? So for those, just to tie into the mediumship and the message from your departed loved ones, they were saying that wherever you're at right now, it's temporary and it's seasonal, and it is, you're transitioning, and it's going to change. And surely that's what the card is showing as well, because the 4 cups here is the energy of maybe feeling like unsatisfied, but also it could be the energy of content. You're content, but you could receive more. You're content and you're wishing for more to come. Maybe she looks like she's, in this illustration, she's looking at that big cup, this big fish. So the more could also be greater connection to the spirit is what I'm hearing with the fish here, spirituality. But surely the temporary, the 4 cups, is not going to be there for very long, because the energy is moving towards 10 of cups here, where there is fulfillment and happiness. So if you feel like you've lost, because this is mediumship reading, if you feel like you're grieving for loss of connection, or what appears to be loss of connection, it seems like you're moving towards, maybe you can't quite replace what you've lost, but somehow you are gonna receive, there is abundance coming into your life that is going to aid or support you feeling much more happy and content with your fulfillment and contentment also with your life. And it looks like one of the biggest change that's coming in is towards the area of love to some, but also the Lover's card doesn't always have to be about relationship, and really it speaks of a change in a choice and direction as well in your life. You're choosing something, or you're moving towards what you deeply desire. that's going to transform your life. So change is coming. 10 of Cups is coming from 4 Cups, and it's moving towards a major change in your life where it's going to feel like you are owning your path, your authentic path, and you're making the decision that you truly want, that feels authentic for you, that feels true. So, all right, everyone. Once again, I invite you, if you're interested in a one-on-one mediumship, evidential mediumship with me, Heart Chakra Medium, private Facebook group, I invite you so that you can book that gift session. Thank you. Hello, everyone. You selected the reading number two. This is a portal for those of you who you want to hear from your spouse, or if you just want to hear a message, you selected this crystal. And let's see what this is. This is the obsidian, and it says protect your soul. Ooh, protect your soul, obsidian. Okay, we have Oracle here that we'll look at towards the end. This is going to be Evidential Mediumship, which I am transitioning my channel to focusing on Evidential Mediumship, which means I won't be using cards. I may use cards towards the end, like Oracle, but as far as the actual mediumship and reading, I won't be using cards with those. And I'm going to focus on tuning in to your departed loved ones and asking for evidence of their presence that you can validate. But this is collective reading, so it's different if I'm doing a one-on-one mediumship reading with you, which we can get as much evidence and then you'll be able to validate who really is coming through. But nonetheless, we are going to continue with this path. If you are interested, however, in a one-on-one evidential mediumship with me, I invite you to my private Facebook group. You can check the description box or search groups in Facebook, private, Heart Chakra Medium, and the details on how to book a gift session, which is free of charge to you, is in that group. Okay, so we're tuning in to your spouse. It doesn't have to be gender specific, but often I say that disclaimer and then the gender shows up. Okay, so we're gonna start with connection point and then we'll transition to a message. We'll see who is coming through. The spouse that is coming through, what he is showing to me is that you were childhood sweethearts. So it seems like your romance and relationship started in high school even, and that it was just like, you can say it was love at first sight. Like you knew that this is the person that you would marry, and then the two of you were married for quite some time. And it's showing me he passed on probably what looks to me in his 50s or 60s. That might not be exactly what's for you, but if the childhood sweetheart connects to you, then that is what connects to you. Let's see. I'm being shown a woman with a blonde hair, so I believe she has passed on. So a spouse whose woman has a blonde hair. She looks like she's thin but very beautiful. She's showing me, she knows she's beautiful as well. She believes she is beautiful. I love that. And she is highlighting her face. So you as the spouse listening to this, she is saying that you love her face. You always made comments about her face and just really adore how beautiful and lovely she is. So she is coming through. I'm seeing what looks to be an experience, and what your spouse is showing me. This is for anyone. Your spouse is showing me is just a night ritual that the two of you had. A night ritual that the two of you have, and I'm seeing nightstand. I'm seeing lamp, and the two of you would be in the bedroom. Be in the bedroom. Some may be doing exhibits in the bedroom, but to some, the very specific one that's being shown to me is like either one is reading a book and the other one a newspaper, but you're doing it together. This night ritual of slowing down your brain waves, but really most importantly, just spending time together before bed. You're not just rolling in your day into the bed and then go to sleep, but you're intentional in making time, allocating time, spending time together. So I'm seeing a spouse who he is older age, and it looks like he is a lot taller than you, but he passed on older age. It seems like 80s or 90s, right around there, and he's showing me time around the kitchen, just how much he appreciated, how much it was enough for him to have that morning time with you where it was so quiet. Like the two of you were morning person. Early birds kills the worm, is that it? Catches the worm. Oh my, let's not kill. Catches the worm. But he's showing me how the simplicity of life is what he really appreciate and enjoy with you, and those times, morning, and just being with each other and having coffee. And he's talking about, he's already had this conversation with you. He's talking about how nowadays relationship, it seems like they need so much more than just each other. And that touches my heart. I want that kind of love. How just the presence of being with each other is enough is what he's showing me. This person seems to really have a lot of love for you. I'm seeing another male spouse who had passed on in his older age, but he passed before you, and he's showing me you doing things. You're going out and you're still very active. You may have a cane, but you're not walking very fast, but you're still active. And you are acknowledging that when you go back to the places where the two of you have spent time, you are acknowledging he is there, and he wants to confirm to you that he is there. And thank you. He's saying that you would make room on the bench or wherever you're sitting, and acknowledge that he's sitting there with you. And he said, indeed, I am there sitting with you. Oh my gosh. So it seems like there's a lot of older male that is coming through for their spouse, and they're saying that because looks like you have a lot of grandkids, and they're saying that when the grandkids are asking, where's grandpa? What, like, he chuckles because you talk about him still alive but just not able to be in that house to be able to gather. But he chuckles how you're teaching, but also opening the kids' awareness to continuation of afterlife, and he really appreciate that. It's better to teach the kids while they're young so that their mind doesn't have a lot that they need to navigate. The younger they are, it's the best. Especially if you're teaching wisdom to the young ones. So those are connection point. They may or may not connect to you, but once again, they're just connection point for one person. So we're going to transition into a message now. If you just want to hear a message from the spirit and collectively from your spouse. I'm hearing an affirmation that you're doing well. You are doing well. You are not someone who is clueless or do not have a direction or cannot make sense of the obvious or do not have awareness to the spirit. You are doing well. The way you are leading your life and the way that you are navigating challenges and setbacks and disappointments. How playful, and you can laugh in the midst of disappointment. You are doing well. I hear them saying, you are doing well. For those who are in a place and time where you are, it seems like you are figuring things out, and somehow you're feeling like you're not figuring out is why they're even saying you're doing well. But for those who seems to be needing more direction this time than you've ever had, and somehow you feel clueless than you've ever had, I hear them saying that you will get the direction. You will get the guidance that you need, starting with right now. So take time to slow down, take time to pause, take time to create some distance from what it is you're trying to solve. Time to reset, time to refresh yourself. And once you're away from this situation, what it is you're trying to solve, then the solution will come. Then the guidance, step by step, will come. When you're least thinking about it, the more you effort, the more you probe, the more you're gonna want to hear rightly and hear perfectly, and the more you do not hear rightly, correctly. So what they are saying is that in a place of rest is when you really could just receive the download that it is for you anyway, to receive the guidance and the direction that is for you anyway. Like nothing is being held or delayed for you or against you. But spiritual wisdom and guidance and understanding comes from a place of us receiving it, that it's already here, that they want to give. And our departed loved ones is wanting to guide us and help us that truly the connection line is never broken. They are still here and they want to guide you. So they're saying that right now, just focus on rest. How can you rest? How can you take care of your soul? How can you... The most important thing right now is you. Yes, there are decisions that need to be made, but it's not the main priority. You are the priority. So how can you rest right now and take care of you? And in a place of rest, you naturally will just get the direction and the guidance that is for you anyway. So this is what I am hearing, the message from your departed loved ones, from your spouse, who those that selected these groups. So once again, this is the obsidian. This obsidian says protect your soul. So indeed, that's what they were saying. Let's look at your oracle and we'll pull a few tarot cards. This one says truth. So if you are needing to hear the truth, as a reminder, in a place of rest is where what is wanting to be given to you is gonna be coming in anyway, or it's coming in anyway already. Mediate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces, mediate and contemplate. Okay. And this one says the bridge. Ooh, doesn't that make sense? The bridge is the mediator. Mediate and contemplate. Okay, so maybe you are, most of us are in a time of change and transition, I feel. And this 1111 portal is that gateway that's ushering us into that transition and change. We are in, the portal is the bridge. Okay, we're gonna leave that one there. We're gonna pull a 3-card pull. This is the Mystic Power Tarot, and I am transitioning to where I'm not using any cards for the mediumship. So this is just for fun during the portal. Okay, so surely with the tower showing up here, there is a change that most of us indeed is going through or experiencing. The tower, the 2 of cups, and then the 7 of pentacles. The tower, the 2 of cups, 7 of pentacles. So, and then mediate, the bridge. So what you may be questioning, most of you, is something to do with relationship. And it doesn't have to be romantic. Especially this reading was for, this doorway is for your spouse. So if you already have remarried and or maybe thinking about exploring new relationship, or maybe needing to separate from relationship, truth will come. And your loved ones was talking about taking time to rest. So even with the 7 Pentacles here, it seems like she's in a season of waiting. She's waiting. Do I go 8 of Pentacles here and grow what is there, or do I start over and pivot? So I believe with the tower, change is going to happen. A change doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to let go of what is there, what you have, if that's what you're contemplating on. But for the most part, what's been seems like stagnant or in limbo, you're gonna gain some changes around that area. You're gonna gain the clarity if it's relationship and what you should do in that relationship, or the decision that's happening between the 2 of you. But change is happening that may seem like out of control, but for the better, for the best, to gain the clarity, and then so that you can invest. With the 7 of Pentacles could also be investment. You can invest your time, your effort, your energy where you should, where you need to, where it is the most beneficial for you. So group 2, once again, thank you so much for your time here. And And this is your reading from your spouse. Hello everyone, you selected group 3 or this Oracle 3. Welcome to your reading. This reading is this is a space we're creating for your grandparents. Yes, I believe grandparents. But also you may just want to hear a message from anyone, and you selected this crystal. So this crystal says it's the rhodochrosite. Rhodochrosite, oh my. Soften your heart. Soften your heart. That may just be what you need to hear. Okay, we'll look at the oracle towards the end. Welcome to your Evidential Mediumship. I am transitioning the channel into focusing on Evidential Mediumship, which means that I'm tuning into your departed loved ones and asking them for evidence of their presence so they may share their personality, share their experience they had with you so you can feel connected to them. And also they may share how they pass, and then from there transition into a message. But this is collective, so it's different when I'm working one-on-one with somebody. I can get as much evidence and you can validate one person coming through, but in a collective it may be challenging to do that, especially you're not in front of me. I'm not in front of a crowd, but I'm connected to your spirit. But if you are interested in a 1-1 evidential mediumship, I created a private Facebook group, Heart Chakra Medium. You can search Facebook groups, Heart Chakra Medium. The description box as well will have the link. And I'm currently offering gift session. It's a way for me to develop my mediumship abilities as well as support you free of charge to you. So if you're interested, I invite you to my group so you can see details on how to book in my calendar. Okay, so we will go ahead and tune in to your grandparents for evidential mediumship, that they would make their presence known. So your grandparents that's showing up here, they are showing me they're showing me a light shining down from heaven. I believe it's just a mess. It is figuratively, and they're letting me know that you know how connected they are. When they were alive, they're very spiritual. They're very connected to heaven. Some of the grandparents coming through also have that religious belief of heaven and earth. So they're coming through to let you know that they are in heaven. They are in heaven. And also they're saying that some of you feel your grandparents right now, like right now in this reading, but also you feel them whenever you think about them. You believe that you're always connected, and surely they want to affirm to you that that's you. Good. I said good job for believing that we're always present with you. I'm seeing a grandma who's dancing around in different yellow outfits. I believe she was sharing how she likes yellow, but also a grandma who is just very joyous and joyful, because I can't help but feel joy looking at her dancing around. And she's very joyous, joyful, but she is also just like, everybody loves her when she is when she is present at the party, because she's very energetic and open and welcoming and loving, and talks a lot as well. She talks a lot. Like, it seems like, do you ever get tired? You're just so talkative. I'm seeing a grandpa, heavier set, and maybe 6 feet taller, maybe even taller than 6 feet. And he wears, what is it called, suspender, where there is like a clip that goes around. I don't know what it's called. Forgive me. But that's what he's showing me he's wearing. And he's saying that that is something that he wears a lot. Like you would see him always wearing the same thing like that. Like a t-shirt, his pants, and then like a khaki pants, and then it's that belt that kind of holds the pants together. Is that the purpose of that? So sorry. I think that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing now a grandpa also who smoked tobacco. That's coming through. A grandpa who was a carpenter, or even a grandpa who did a lot of DIY on the weekends. He did a lot of, like, he seems to be, he's in the backyard, he's in the garage, he's doing all these things, like building. He just likes like building things is what I'm being shown. There's a lot of grandpa that's coming through. So I'm seeing a grandpa who would watch his grandkids when they were young, and he loves watching them. Like, they retired early, so then they had time to watch the kids. And I'm seeing him watching like toddlers, putting them to nap, feeding them, is what he's showing me. And some who are listening to this, it is your kids, so it is your dad that's coming through. And then to some, you're not a toddler anymore, so you've grown up, and that is the experience you have with your grandpa. And your parents have told you this often. Some of you remember, some of you, your parents have told you that your grandma and grandpa watch you all the time. I'm seeing a grandparents, they're both passed, and they were dancers, and they did like ballroom dancing. Like, I'm losing my but it's like they do private dances, and some of them have compete, some is just like it's part of, it's just a hobby that they like to do. But often the family would see them dancing. It's like there's not a holiday where they're not going to dance. They're always dancing. But also just showing their connection in the physical realm. And if anyone is questioning, they are together. They're showing me together. They're together. They're definitely together, and they're still dancing. If anyone is wondering that, together, still dancing, but also still very much connected to the family as well. They're telling me that your grandparents are telling me that the most of the family are very much open to the spirit and very connected. Like your parents would reveal themselves, and most of the family would know that, oh, that's mom, that's dad, that's grandma, that's grandpa. Like, it's not wondering or questioning. I wonder why I saw that. I wonder why I heard this. Instead, your family are pretty much saying that that's mom. Mom sent that. Dad said that. Grandparents said that. They sent that. So very connected. So these are connection point. They may or may not connect to anyone. And the whole thing might not connect to just one person. It may be little one for each person, but this is a collective reading, so that's what we have to work with. We're going to transition to the message piece now for anyone who just want to hear a message from anyone from your departed loved ones and anyone specific to your grandparents. So the message that I'm hearing is the spirit is so much more. The spirit is as real, if not so much more real than the physical realm. There is no separation. Everything is happening at the same time, and everything is inhibiting the same space. Time can differentiate experiences, but time works for us here in the physical, but not in the spirit. In the spirit, there's no space, there is no time, there is no lack, there is no grief, but you cannot quite remove grief from a human experience. That is there. Humanity do experience without. Humanity do experience lack and grief and sadness. The goal is not to rid of it. The goal is to be aware and make a choice, not to suppress your emotion, because you're suppressing your humanity if you do that, but being aware that you can tap into the spirit instantly, not by effort, but by receiving. When you acknowledge, my loved ones is here, versus, I wonder if my loved ones is here. You connect that much quicker. The knowing, the validation that we are always there with you is what allows you to stay connected. But it's easy to lose sight, lose track when you aren't seeing it physically manifested. It's easy. And we're not offended. It's okay when weeks would go by and you have not thought of us. It's okay. It's okay when you don't feel like a month or a year has gone by and you have not visited a gravestone. It's okay. Visit the gravestone, not because of a responsibility to us, but because you need it. Because you feel you need to connect to us in that manner, in that way. Memorialize us, not because you think we are asking you to, but because it brings you great deal of comfort that humans need. We are here not in service to you, but we are here to stay connected as you need to. There is not a need from us, nor a responsibility that we need you to attend to. It's all about, what do you need? What do you need in this present moment? Remember that there is no offense on our part when you don't think about us for a day, for a week, months and years. And we quickly connect to you without resentment when you need to. We are here. So that is the message I'm hearing from me, your departed loved ones, and specifically for those who have selected to hear from their grandparents. So let's go ahead and look at your oracle cards. I will pull a few tarot cards as well. Once again, this one says, soften your heart. Soften your heart. I mean, from that message, it does feel like once you soften your heart, somehow it's a lot easier to make a connection. There's no resentment, there's no regret or guilt. The healer. Look at that. I do feel that a soft and open heart is the healer itself, but also the heart heals. The heart heals, the heart is healing, especially during this portal. Healer is coming, pleasure is opening up for you. Love that. Healer, pleasure. You're very close to achieving your goals. Ooh, I'll take that for me. I love that. That's great. Okay, so let's pull some tarot cards. This is the Mystic Palette Tarot. Once again, the channel is going to focus on evidential mediumship. In the beginning, I used to use cards, so I'm not using that anymore. But I may do oracle toward the end to close readings. Love this. 4 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands. 4 Cups, 2 of Pentacles, and then the Ace of Wands. So in this illustration, she's smiling. And then in the group 2 reading, the 4 Cups showed up as well in the same position. That is synchronicity. So you may want to hear the message on 2. But also with this being recorded on 1111 portal, there that is, the duality or the repetition. So 4 of Cups, as I said, repetition, I feel that where we're at right now, if we're feeling content or discontent or feeling like we're okay, but we're ready for something more, that is happening, that is unfolding. Also, the 4 of Cups can turn into a 5 of Cups to some of us. So maybe your disappointment right now may turn into something more, which is just grief of loss. Whatever it is that you feel like you've lost in your life. It doesn't have to be relationship, like, you know, with this reading being departed loved ones. It could be just you're grieving of loss of opportunity, of things didn't turn out the way you hope it would. So, but I do feel that that is indeed changing for us. It is changing, but also moving into you having the balance in your experiences. So if you are disappointed, having a balance with contentment and satisfaction. And if you are grieving, having the balance of feeling very full. So, but also with the Ace of Wands here, it does feel like new is about to unfold for you. You're very close to achieving your goals. So it seems like there's something new, even a new spark of energy that you can use for when your goal turns up into you feeling very accomplished and achieved. And it could be what you want, what you desire is about to transform or unfold for you. So the discontentment or the feeling like it's not enough and you're ready for more, that maybe you've been feeling like that for quite some time. Balance is happening for you where you're not just so heavy on one side, but also feeling happy and at peace and taking some pleasure. I see that here, having some pleasure, but most importantly, healing your heart and softening your heart is what it says here. Healing your heart, softening your heart. And ultimately, you are going to reach your destination. Ultimately, your destination is inevitable for you. So group 3, this is your reading and the message from your departed loved ones, and specifically from your grandparents.